Do you get pain in the tendons in your foot? If you get pain in your foot tendons, then this video is for you. Hi, I'm Dr. Dave Candy, and in this video, I'm going to tell you about some different types of foot tendon problems, what can cause them, and what you can do to relieve them. Now, if you find this video helpful, give it a like or thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you can get notified of our future videos. Now, first of all, what causes tendon pain in the foot? It depends on what type of tendon pain you're talking about. There are lots of tendons in the foot, and a lot of them actually originate in the lower leg. So in this video, we're going to talk about tendon pain on the inside of the foot, the back of the heel, the outside of the foot, the top of the foot, and on the bottom of the foot. So first of all, if you get tendon pain on the inside of the foot, that's caused by tendons that start out in your lower leg and they wrap around the bump on the inside of your ankle and run underneath the foot. Now, largely these tendons, their function is to maintain the arch when you're walking, to turn your ankle inwards, and to scrunch your toes down. Now, they get injured because if you're walking and you tend to overpronate like that, it stretches the tendons along that bump on the inner side of the ankle, and you can also start to step down on them on the bottom of your arch as your foot flattens down. So the easiest way to prevent the tendons on the inside of your ankle and foot from hurting is to control that pronation when you're walking. You can do that through a variety of ways. Orthotics can help. Good supportive shoes can help. Motion control shoes are probably the ones you're looking for in that type of scenario. And also just maintaining your arch actively can help. So keeping your arch lifted by sort of curling your toes, scrunching your foot up, and maintaining that foot position when you walk can help prevent tendon pain on the inside of your ankle and inside of your foot as you're walking. Now, another important thing with that is calf flexibility. That if your calves are too stiff and you don't have the flexibility to take a step over top of your ankle, then you're going to turn your ankle inwards and get around it by doing that, which can cause tendon pain on the inside of your ankle and inside of your foot. So I've got another video that shows you stretches that you can do for your calf muscles, but specifically how to do those stretches correctly. Because if you are stretching your calves and your foot's flattening out as you're stretching, you're really not helping the problem and may actually be making it worse. So that's the first type of pain that we're going to talk about in this video. The second one is another common type of pain that attaches on the tendon at the bottom of the heel, and that's your Achilles tendon. It's a big, thick tendon with fibers that run parallel to each other vertically, like that. And that tendon is really strong and resistant to forces that go up and down in line with the tendon fibers. However, if you have forces that go sideways, for example, if you're pronating your foot too much, or contrarily, if you're supinating your foot too much and going the other way, those shearing forces that go across the tendon fibers, they make it more likely to get injured. It can actually cause some micro tears in the tendon, or in the worst case scenario, actually a tendon rupture, where it sounds like a gunshot in your calf and the tendon will kind of roll up in your calf like a window shade effect. That's sort of the classic description of Achilles tendon rupture. Now, to prevent that from happening, you want to make sure that the Achilles tendon is not being overstressed in the directions it's not supposed to go. So not going too much that way, not going too much that way. And you also want to make sure that tendon is not being overstretched too much. Now, if your calf muscles are stiff, they can cause the tendon to take more of the load, but stretching your calf muscles, at least in the traditional way, isn't always the best option because you're actually overstretching the tendon fibers and putting more strain on the tendon as well. So again, check out the link to the calf stretch video that I put in earlier. And also, another thing that's been shown to be really effective for Achilles tendon problems is going up and down on one leg, going up on two and coming down on one. That's been shown to build up the tendon strength. And I've got another video with some more details as to how to do that as well. Now, the third type of tendon pain is the tendon pain on the outside of the ankle and foot. And those muscles generally turn the ankle down and out like that. Unlike the other types of tendon problems, those don't tend to come on as an overuse kind of chronic slow issue. They tend to happen more often with landing on one foot or landing on a pointed toe like that, for example, landing from a jump, oftentimes you'll feel a little snap or a pop when that happens. And what can happen is the ligament that holds those tendons in place, it can actually get torn a little bit. And then as you point and flex your toes back and forth, that tendon can pop and roll over the outside of the ankle. But again, that's less common. It really only happens if there's more of a traumatic mechanism of injury. And it's not that serious when the tendons pop back and forth, but it can be kind of annoying. Now, the fourth type of tendon pain is the tendon pain on top of your foot. And these are your extensor tendons, the tendons that bring your toes up like that. You can actually see them in most people on the top of your foot. They're pretty visible. And the way that they get hurt is by wearing shoes that are too tight, particularly in people who have higher arches and there's less space in the shoe. So the arch pushes up into your shoe and it creates some pressure on those tendons. Now that's a pretty easy problem to deal with. It just means wearing shoes that are either a little bit wider in the toe box or not tying your shoes so tightly so that they don't put so much pressure on the tendons on the top of your foot. Now, the last type of tendon pain that we're going to talk about in this video is tendon pain on the bottom of your foot. And when people think about tendon pain on the bottom of their foot, or any pain really on the bottom of their foot, the first thing people think of is plantar fasciitis. And your plantar fascia is actually sort of a tendon-like material. It's not technically a tendon per se, but it is for all intents and purposes made of the same type of material. And if your arch is either too high and then you go to step down on it vigorously, like first thing in the morning, that can overstretch the plantar fascia. Or conversely, if the arch is too overstretched and too flat and the plantar fascia has gotten too lengthened, that can also cause pain in the bottom of the foot. But the real function of the plantar fascia is to protect the other structures that are underneath it. And there are 4 layers of muscles that are on the bottom of your foot. Generally, their function is to maintain the arch of the foot and to scrunch your toes like that. So really the treatment for that is the same as the inner ankle problem by and large, that if you prevent the foot from over flattening too much, control the pronation when you're walking, ensure that you have adequate calf flexibility in the right parts of your calf, then that's going to help with the tendon problems in the bottom of your foot. Now there's some other hands-on treatments that can help with all of these problems, such as manual trigger point therapy or dry needling to help with some of the areas where you can't reach in the middle of the foot, or if you have a tendon in your calf that's overstretched and you just need to stretch out the calf muscles without putting more stress on the tendon. Those are some things that can help. And we do both the manual trigger point therapy as well as dry needling here. Now, if you need some more help for tendon problems, or you just like to find out what's going on and what's causing the pain in your foot, we'd be happy to help. Just feel free to reach out. And again, if you found this video helpful, give it a like or thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you can get notified of our future videos.